So hello there, welcome to Elisha FX. This is Elisha Kyongenzu, and once again welcome to our lesson segment. In today's lesson we're going to talk about the prop firms. In short, it's a lesson based on how you can fund your trading as a small or upcoming trader. So in short, prop firms, as per definition, are companies that are willing to give you money in order for you to trade for them, and then afterwards you agree, based on contract of course, you agree on the profit split, like how much you're gonna get you as a trader, and then how much you're gonna give them as the retail, as the prop firm company itself. So it's usually the profit split is in percentage. In most cases it's always in percentage, and then it's usually 80% to 20. It means that you as a trader who is trading that money, you get to get 80%, while the company remains with the 20%. So what is so good about that? Thing is, as a retail trader, in most cases in the modern world, so to say, we have encountered a lot of people who say like capital is the problem in trading and dollars. And so yeah, you find that people, back then it was very hard. Yeah, that was the fact. The fact was that people wouldn't trade, let's say $10, and grow it into a very big amount, or someone to just develop their career as a trader. They had to make a very big savings, let's say maybe up to 20,000, 10,000 US dollars, in order for them to start their career or their profession as traders. In the modern world, though, you can be able to get that amount, which is the 20, the 10, the 5,000 US dollars, with just a 36,000 US dollar or a 100 US dollar. Like, it's as good as it sounds. So yeah, you will get to buy an account. Let's say, for example, you buy an account from a prop firm that is a 6,000 US dollars account for maybe $36,000. It depends with the prop firm that you have picked. But some prop firms, yeah, I've seen that some prop firms even offer as low as 36 US dollars just for a 5,000 US dollar account. And that is like funding pips, if I'm not mistaken, funding pips. Yeah, they offer like 36 US dollars for their 5,000 US dollars account. So they only have to evaluate you. So there is what we call an evaluation process, where they'll give you a target that you have to reach in when you're trading. Then that target, once you reach it, you move on to the next stage. So the next stage also has a target. If you meet that target, they finally give you the money. It's the one-step evaluation. There is the two-step evaluation, and then there are some programs that offer actually instant funding. So the instant funding is why you don't even have to pass through any evaluation processes. You just have to pay for the account and they give you the account. But in such cases, mostly they are usually higher than the evaluation accounts. And then apart from that, their rules and regulations are also strict. So you find like you don't have to make a very small loss, or else they'll get away the entire money that you have, or that they give you. The best way is to go for the evaluation processes, and to be specific, the two-step evaluation process. And in that case, you will be given a percentage. For some prop firms, they'll give you like you have to make 10% profit from whatever amount that you get. So for instance, if you have let's say you have a 10,000 account, you have to make 1,000 as the 10% of that account. And then if you make that 1,000, you move on to the second phase. So the second phase in most cases it's like maybe 8% or 8%, 6%, depending on the prop firm that you're using. So there you have to make like 800 if we are using the same example of the 10,000 account. So you have to make like an 800 account, 800 USD or maybe 600 USD depending on the prop firm. And then after you pass the two evaluation processes, the two steps evaluation processes, you will be able to get the actual funds, such as maybe the entire 10,000 as your capital. You can't withdraw. I'm sure that some people are even thinking, why can't you just withdraw the same 10,000 after you get it? Of course, it's capital. So it's for the company. You can't withdraw it. You just have to use it in order to generate more money. And then whatsoever amount you make from that 10,000, once you're given the account, you'll be getting about 80% of that. And then the prop firm only gets 20%. So let's say, for instance, if you make a profit of, let's say, 1,000 in a trade. If you make 1,000 in a trade, it means that you get to keep 800 to yourself, and then the prop firm just gets about 200, just 200 USD, and you keep the 800 USD to yourself. And you can even request for them to pay you out, like to a withdrawal request, and they'll accept. Some prop firm even accept the same day. For example, Funded Next, I heard a lot of reviews where they are one of the most fastest like withdraw. Uh, they accept withdrawals within maybe 1 day or two, and then they'll send it to the account that you put there. It's as easy as that. You get to trade someone's money, someone's capital, and then you just split the, the, the profit that you make. All you have to do, the only important thing is that you have a strategy. You have a strategy. A working strategy is not all about work. Having a strategy, it's having a working strategy. You have to backtest your strategy. You make sure that it's something that is working, not only for one pair, not only for two pairs, like all the pairs that you'll be trading during that funding process or evaluation process. You have to make sure that your strategy, you have backtested it several times and it has worked. So about 70%, if you just right 70% of the times, even the 30 is useless. You just make sure that you have a good proper management skill, and you you'll be able to like limit yourself. Like you don't have to make a certain loss in a day. You don't have to make a certain loss over as well. So in as much as they give you a target, for example, they say the first step you have to reach, you have to make 1,000 US dollars. It means that you don't have to lose 1,000 US dollars in the first step. If you lose that 1,000 US dollars, they'll get away your account and you won't be able to trade again. But once you make the 1,000 US dollars before you can lose it, it means that they will be able to give you that money. Or maybe you move on to the next stage rather. And then in the next stage as well, there is a minimum amount that you have to lose in that account. You don't have to lose about 10% in that second valuation as well. And if you manage to not lose about the, the, the 10% in that second valuation process, it means that you will be able to get funded like with real money. And now in that real money, sorry, so now in that real money, that's why you get now to trade the actual capital that you have, which is it may be 6,000, it may be 5,000, it may be 10,000 according to the account that you purchase. And then whatever profit you make from that, you split it 80% to 20%. I saw some prop firms that have higher profit split ratios, or yeah, but I'm not sure of those that are higher and how their evaluations are. But the genuine ones are mostly 80% to 20%, 80% to 20%. So you just have to get 80% of the profits that you make, and 20% of will be taken to the company or the firms that actually gave you the capital. So those are what problems are, and yeah, a simple way, an easier way to generate profit. So long you have a working strategy, like I said, then you are all set. Money is not, capital is not a problem in this modern trading world. It's not really the capital that is needed. It's just your intelligence, your knowledge about the forex market that is needed. And once you have that, you can be able to take that into practice in a funded trading or a funded account. And so, yeah, if you are someone who is growing, who's trying to grow their small accounts, it's not wrong to try out, like to manage your small funds and all that. But if you really want to grow in your trading, in your career, building it as a career and all that, you would want to consider a prop firm account.